Man TV here, and big news for all you iPhone users and future iPhone users. The iPhone OS 4.0 event just ended, and the event was obviously today, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the biggest thing out of them all that was announced today is, yes, there's going to be multitasking on the iPhone. Little bit of disappointing news, this is only going to be multitasking on the iPhone 3GS and the late 2009 iPod Touch 3G, 32GB and 64GB models only. Steve Jobs claims this is because of a hardware issue with the previous devices. And Steve Jobs claims that they just figured out how to get multitasking without hurting your battery life completely. And so hopefully it won't kill your battery life a lot. The iPhone has terrible battery life even without flash, even without multitasking. And I'm sure that's a big reason why it wasn't implemented until now. Apparently they found a way so you're not going to lose as much battery life. Hopefully that's true. So how multitasking on the iPhone is going to be like is you're just going to double tap your home button, and there's going to be a little bar on the bottom, and it's going to show all the applications you have running open. So if you're using Safari, there's going to be a little bar on the bottom, and the entire Safari window is going to be pushed a little bit to the top. So that is huge. Multitasking is coming to the iPhone and iPod Touch. No multitasking is why many people have not bought an iPhone. So fortunately, it's coming to the next iPhone OS. Now, there's also going to be some smaller features, obviously, coming to the next iPhone OS. There is spell check, just like on the iPad. Another thing, just like the iPad, is there's a Bluetooth keyboard support. User backgrounds, yay! You don't have to jailbreak your iPhone for background support now, just like on the iPad. There's background support on your home page and all the other pages, not just on the lock screen. There is tap to focus while recording a video. That's a big one. On my 3GS, I constantly have to stop a recording just to focus it again, and so that's a big plus for the next OS. And another big plus for the iPhone OS is, yes, there's finally zoom coming to the iPhone. There's going to be 5x zoom for taking pictures. You can now create playlists from your iPhone or iPod Touch. And another cool thing is that there's actually going to be app folders now. I know when I've jailbroken my iPhone/iPod Touch in the past, I've downloaded an app which actually lets you have like different folders, but unfortunately it sucked on the iPhone/iPod Touch when jailbreaking. It would literally take like 20 seconds to open that up, but now there's going to be app folders straight in the OS. And so basically how this is going to work is if you drag an icon on top of another one, it's going to create a folder, and you can even put the folder in your dock. Now, a leaked feature that was leaked about a month or so ago was actually enhanced mail support. So enhanced mail, basically there's going to be an inbox view where if you have maybe 2 or more different mail accounts set up, you're going to be able to get all the emails in one mail folder. And another cool thing is now you can actually sync more than one Exchange account onto your iPhone. Before, you can only have one Exchange account at a time in the mail application. Now, something that I'm not disappointed about, but for Apple's sake, there is going to be iBooks on the iPhone and iPod Touch. Now, in my opinion, Apple, why'd you announce this today? You gave people 14 days to return your iPad, and I'm sure 1/10 people bought the iPad just for the iBook support, and I'm sure a lot of those people had iPhone or iPod Touches. And now you're putting it on the iPhone and iPod Touch. I guarantee you guys are going to lose a lot of sales now, and people are going to be returning their iPads since it's still within the 14-day period of when the iPad was released. So another main thing is actually there's something new called the Game Center, and this is incorporated into the iPhone OS now. And what this is, it's kind of like Xbox Live on Windows Phone 7 devices. You're going to be able to have leaderboards and all that stuff, but related to iPhone apps. And so Steve Jobs said that there's over 50,000 entertainment/game related apps on the iPhone. So you're going to be able to incorporate this new Game Center feature into all those apps. You can invite people to play games with you, which is cool. It'll give you a little notification that pops up on your iPhone. Now, finally, the last feature that's coming to iPhone OS 4.0 is actually iAdd. And iAdd is kind of like something you're going to be able to incorporate into free or paid iPhone apps. And I'm sure if you've downloaded a free app in the past, I'm sure 50 to 75% of them actually have little AdMob apps on the bottom. And now instead of AdMob apps, there's actually going to be iAdd ads, which is a new platform based off of Quattro Wireless, and that's a company Apple did acquire in January. Now with iAdd, when someone puts an ad into their iPhone or iPod Touch or iPad app, you're going to get 60% of the profit. Apple is going to get 40%. Okay, guys, and finally, the SDK for iPhone OS 4.0. It's out for developers right now. And basically what people get in this is there's 1,500 new APIs. You can use background audio like Pandora, background voice over IP, like Skype. So you're going to be able to actually get calls from Skype in the background. There's going to be map overlays, quick look for previewing documents, photo library access, calendar access, full access to the camera, and some other things that developers are going to have access to in the new iPhone OS 4.0 SDK. Actually, the release date for iPhone 4.0 OS. For iPod Touch and iPhone users, the release date is actually going to be over the summer. And unfortunately, for iPad users, you're going to have to wait till fall to get iPhone OS 4.0. And yeah, guys, that's basically it for the recap of the iPhone OS 4.0 event. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to comment below on what you think of everything I discussed. What do you think of iPhone 4.0 OS and all the new features that were announced? Thanks for watching.